Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a very quick catch-up on all the screenshots that have been posted in the last week, actually. I think 1.5 weeks, but anyways. So since I'm doing all the focus features at the moment, I wasn't paying attention too much to the screenshots, and there was not that one screenshot that blew me away, that I thought I need to make an analysis of this. But I thought, you know, after a week and now ahead of the last week before we will get some awesome Gamescom news, I thought why not spend a little look into all the screenshots that have been posted the last week, and a fair bit of things I want to point out here. I've checked these screenshots now in detail so that we don't need to do this on the go, so I am a little bit quicker here on the screenshot than usually. So first of all, let's start off with the last screenshot we've been given. This was the first appearance it made in the Zookeeper newsletter on Thursday, if I'm not completely wrong, or on Saturday. I'm not completely wrong here, but I don't know. And then it also went a day later or two onto the official channels, and this is why we get the high-res image of that. And the one thing I wanted to point out is not the wonderful looking ChoChoTrain. It is basically the palm tree in the back. And if you know the palm trees from Planet Coaster, this one looks a fair bit better. It looks a bit more fuzzy, it looks a bit more, it has a bit more volume, it looks super nice indeed. This down here even looks like a banana palm tree, some kind of, sort of. It's really nice looking, to be honest. I really like it. And the smoke VFX really looks decent as well, because I remember that the one in Planet Coaster is a bit more, or a bit less transparent, I should say, so it's a bit more opaque. And yeah, I like just how this works. In general, I also have to admit that the lighting on this one looks perfect, because it's not that a sharp edge with the shadows, and the shadow is not as black as it is in Planko. So overall, the lighting seems to be haven't improved. It's really good improved, I guess, in comparison to Planet Coaster. Yeah, there's not too much more I wanted to point out about this screenshot. I love all the pieces, the modular pieces we have in here. I love these lampposts. I love basically how this all works together. I love the design of the ChoChoTrain. I love that it seems to be a little bit shorter, but I believe, as always, we will be able to choose the lengths ourselves, so we can have a very long ChoChoTrain or a short ChoChoTrain, so whatever. And if you sink that into the ground, it'll be also possible to make this ride really appear like if it would be going over the pathway, which would be also pretty cool. However, let's move on to the next one, and this is, why doesn't it load? Oh, there we go. This is the Antillean iguana, I guess it's called. Yeah, that's the one. We got one new screenshot of this dude over here, and we can look a little bit more into the detail of this animal. Again, there's not much more to talk about in this screenshot in particular. I just wanted to point out again for those people who might not know this, but I don't know if the info reached you or not, but the small animals in the small exhibits, they won't be moving like the normal animals. They basically will stay in their position, and they will be animated in their position. And once you go off with the camera, so it's not, you know, highlighted, the animal will then jump to another position. So it's kind of teleported there, but you won't actually see the teleporting happening as long as you stay on the animal and look at it. But the moment you move away, it might be zooming to a next position. I have to admit that I was a little bit bummed by it in the first minute, but thinking about small exhibits in detail, I'm quite happy with this solution if it's a better solution for performance, which I think obviously we can agree on that it is, but also the difference between actual movement in there and this solution is not that big, if you ask me, because most of these small exhibit animals don't move that much anyways. And also I think the solution by moving away the camera and then have some movement going on is also pretty fine. And as long as there's a good variation in the animations of the animals, I can definitely deal with that. So yeah, let's move and jump to the next one, which was one of the recently added screenshots. And this one is a very nice one for one particular reason, and this is we did know about this info board over here. This is one of the billboards. Actually, it's not a billboard. If you look closely, this is definitely a screen, if you ask me. That's not a billboard. This is definitely a screen, which is cool. That is also kind of a confirmation that we get the TV screens again in game. Those ones we know already from Planet Coaster, but also we did get the info here that there is also, you know what I don't really get, and we also did get no information on that, is the number 4 down here. This is one thing that really made me speculate a little bit if this is kind of a course, you know, that people have like a guided tour, or this is kind of a tour they take themselves, and this is the 4th station in this tour, because I really don't get which kind of info I want to get from this one else, because it's basically a number which is not related to the animal itself, maybe because of 4 animals in that frame, but because does this make any sense? I don't know, because usually these African wild dogs, they are a little bit more crowded, so they have a bigger pack, so I believe there would be more than 4 animals. And also, you know, this kind of you know, exclamation mark, question mark thing here, which is like a speech bubble or whatever, it kind of makes me wonder that this is the info screen, and you know, there is like more info about this animal. And if you look closely down here, I don't even know what exactly this is. This kind of a line down here, I don't know if it's highlighting the point where you are at this tour, that you're basically now at the continent Africa, obviously. Yes, I can definitely relate to that, but what does it mean? CR? I'm not entirely sure, but quite a lot of things that make me wonder if there's like a deeper system of a tour, of a guided tour, which would be pretty awesome. And yeah, we have the language of Planko in here as well. And by the way, also pretty nice little reveal of the baobab tree. I think it's a baobab tree, right? I used to place this down quite often in older games, and I believe it's the baobab tree, which is pretty nice. I don't think we've seen that in any other screenshot, or maybe we have in the first reveal of the African wild dogs in general. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, we can see one of the wild dogs in the background, by the way, and also a zookeeper putting down the meat. However, one thing is again to see down here and to mention is this water pipe. We have seen this already from that angle, from top angle here, and this is basically the same screenshot we have had a few days ago where we talked about the staff path thing. So this is like just a little bit of a different angle, and this seems to be like a water pipe thing going on. Not much more info on that. We can't really see if it's connected or not, so it's just this little hint here. Well, then we have one of the a little bit older screenshots from last week when there was the World Tiger Day. This is the Bengal Tiger, obviously, and yeah, this screenshot in particular is interesting because of actually 3 reasons. The first reason is being the tiger itself. It looks very fuzzy, very furry, very nice, very smooth, very, I don't know, it almost looks like I want to cuddle it. I've seen people talking about the paws and the little crawls, are they called crawls or whatever, these things down here, I forgot the name. Usually what people say and claim is that animals in the zoo don't have them out, like they don't have them because they're not attacking or climbing. I don't know, you know, this would be, again, talking about the small animals in the small exhibits, this kind of thing. Would it be necessary to have this actually a moving piece or whatever, so that, you know, if they're going to scratch or climb, that they have these things out of their paws, and if, you know, if they don't do anything else, they do have them in. If is this even working, or are they like cut or whatever because of safety reasons? I am not too sure about that, so I don't want to speculate, but for me it's not that big of a deal, to be honest. Anyways, if we look towards the back, we can see another palm tree in here in this house, and people were wondering what this kind of house is in here. So as we know, there are a lot of these roof pieces. It can be an interior kind of exhibit, but you know, it could also be just a little bit of a nice interior build with a palm tree, and as we've seen for the wonderful station for the train. So yeah, it's nothing too much we can speculate about here. And then we have this reed over here, which I just want to point out because I think it's an awesome piece to make your enclosures look nice and decent. So that's what we have to talk about here, but that's just a little bit of a minor update. So if we go further, there's one last bit we need to talk about, and this is the elephant screenshot. This has been added also a few days ago, and people were again speculating what this animal in the back is over here. And again, people were saying this might be a camel or whatever. I just usually I'm quite happy about speculating, to be honest, but one thing that is for certain is that this is an elephant, simply because this is again the same park we've seen multiple times already, and we know already that animals have to be separated, from the enclosures because of family reasons. If a family member starts fighting against another family member for dominance, you might want to separate them. Or if you want to go into breeding and let them make love, you will also need to separate them to make sure that you don't have inbreeding or whatever. So this is kind of something you have to look into, and this is why the two families of elephants are separated here. But one thing in particular I wanted to point out in this screenshot is, I don't know, I haven't noticed it yet. I was checking some old screenshots, you could see it, but I think this screenshot in particular is really nice because of the eyelashes of the elephant. This looks so phenomenal, it looks so nice, and I can't even wait to see how this looks in motion when the elephant is blinking its eyes, and then you see the eyelashes moving, and also the little fuzzy tail thing down here. You can really see how this is something something more smooth and moving. I don't know, hairy, I want to call it. It's pretty cool, to be honest, and I haven't seen that detail before. It wasn't that obvious to me. It has been there, so I was checking it, but yeah, it's pretty cool how much detail they go into, and but that's basically it. So let me just see if I didn't miss out on one of the screenshots. Nope, this is all. So yeah, I hope you appreciate this little quick update on the recent screenshots, and I hope to see you in the next video, which will be about Planet Zoo. Definitely will be the next focus feature, which is about the staff and the function of staff members in Planet Zoo. As the first reiterations of this series, I'm going to try to go as much in detail as I can and rely as much onto the facts that I can. So if you haven't seen the series yet, make sure to check it out. I'll put the link in the end card, and also try to remember to put a card to the top right now. Anyways, have a good time, guys, and see you in the next one. And by the way, if you want to catch me live streaming, obviously today will be Planet Coaster because there's no Planet Zoo to play yet. You might consider go over to my Twitch channel, because this is where I'm going to be live right now, actually, when you are watching this, for the whole evening, basically. So hope to see you there, and hope that you guys having a nice evening. See you next time, and bye. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you appreciate that, and now a special thanks also to all the people supporting me here on that channel, making this all possible. You can see that on the left hand side right now, and also if you want to see more of my stuff, make sure to click that card on the right top now, and if you want to stick around, make sure to hit that sub button, which is on the bottom right of the screen. If you want to see stuff on my social media, sneak peeks and stuff like that, it is on the bottom left of the screen. And yeah, I hope to see you again in the next episode. Until then, enjoy your time, guys, and bye.